insane, dude! Hello, YouTube. Welcome in, gamers. We just finished normal difficulty on the Guardian. Let's just quickly go over some gear. Normally, we play with Hallowed Hat. This time is no different. I got very lucky. Plus to skills is really important here on the Hallowed Hat. Vit res. This also rolled slow resistance. That's what inertia is. For a charm or a relic you put on here, in Act 2 I normally put Amulet's Glory on there for % health, and if you need it, a completion bonus for forced Vit res. We got Giga Lucky here for the Crystal of Erebus plus the skills. Hee-haw! Nice. Okay, our rings, normally with a Guardian, if you want pet bonuses, you go for Beast Collars or Spirit Collars, so on and so forth. You can focus on elemental or physical damage. Either one is fine. Physical is preferred eventually. I just got lucky here. Spirit Collars, Seal of Life. Life is flat health. Spirit Collars can roll Vit, LE, and Fizz damage. You can see here I got elemental damage, so I just kept that one. For the charm, we put Monkey King's Trickery. The force completion bonus is Pierce Res. Peepog. Nice. Other ring is Ring of Shang. Nothing too fantastic about this ring for this build. It's just some Pierce Res, some Poison Res. I'm not scaling Pierce damage intentionally. We just have some Pierce damage on this thing. We got some Dexterity. The big thing here is attack speed. You can use clubs, you can use axes, but trying to get attack speed cap is pretty important. I'll show you my weapon here. We're over attack speed capped in most scenarios, so we can drop this soon. I'll show you why. We have our dagger as Dagger of Basbonia. This has a ton of pierce damage. We're not supposed to be scaling this, but you know, this one has so much on it. 20% chance of 113% total damage. It's got some OA. It's got tons of attack speed as recharge. Recharge is really, really good on a Guardian. Now, granted, we do have refresh, which reduces cooldowns, but more recharge is just good. Also, the 1,000 cuts is insane. Again, we're not really stacking any of these damage types, but on normal difficulty, you could just take any Act 5 items you can get. Basically, early game for Guardian, you want to play with axe or club or sword with like physical damage. Doesn't really matter too much. A nice green is good. And then once you get to Act 3, farm a Saber Claw and put it on your Saber Tooth. That carries to Act 5. That's exactly what we did. And then we got this dagger. Chest piece, same thing here. Just get a really nice green or monster infrequent that solves your resistances. We got a veterans, a suit of life. Life is flat health. Veterans is the rest. Fizz res, % DA, and avoidance. That's a really defensive chest piece. There's plenty of Act 5 items you can swap that out for. But if you have a green or a monster infrequent item, you put on Stew of Eldamir. Stew of Eldamir is % strength and some energy regen. There's a couple of good completion bonuses too. I got minus armor, which is nice because again, we're normally going to be doing physical damage. Reducing armor increases our damage, increases our dog's damage. It's all good. You can get % straight completion bonus. That one also is good. You can also get a % physical damage completion bonus. Those three are, in my opinion, the best. I'll show you shield now. We have Rings of the Rhine. Ideally, I was farming for the Shield of Gouda. I'll put that on screen. But the Rings of Rhine is really good too for 320 defensive ability, minus requirements, and % XP. Also, more recharge. Recharge is really, really good. I think I do want something a little better for Epic, but for now, this thing's incredible. Again, as always, Stonebinder's Cuffs. We got really lucky here. Stonebinder's Cuffs rolled attack speed. Didn't roll a prefix, but roll at attack speed, so that's really, really nice. Plus the skills is important. We put on Rage Varies. This is a 15% chance for flat 150 damage. Then the completion bonus is minus armor. Again, minus armor increases our damage, increases our dog's damage, anything that does physical damage, you know, so that's huge. Okay, and then our amulet was really, really lucky. We found this super early. Wanderer's Talisman of Servitude. Wanderer's is +1 to nature. That's really important for +4, you know, for getting 3 dogs, basically. I got 3 dogs very early in my playthrough because of this. And then Servitude is some health and armor. We're not really stacking health and armor for pets, but early on, it's pretty nice. Then, as always, we put Golden Scarab on the amulet. Plus the skills completion bonus. Nice login. Lastly, our boots. We are wearing Boots of the Tinkerer. There's no prefix here, just the suffix of Tinkerer allows 2 charms or relics. The reason you want to do that is Hermes Sandal. Hermes Sandal is movement speed, and then poison res. You can do a couple of things. If you're addicted to movement speed like I am, put Hermes Sandal on there. Otherwise, this is kind of a free slot for some resistance or some other attributes for charms. But the reason you want Eponia's horses on there, the force completion bonus is not showed on the tooltip, but it's the Puppet Master affix, which is total speed to pets and some health. So you're boosting your movement speed and you're boosting your pets as well. So then a Tinkerer slot here is really, really nice. There's some other blue items that you could get for lots of other attributes and stats. We vendor farmed just for a hot second and got it pretty easily. So pretty easy pickup here. And then lastly, we also got really lucky. We got an early Razor Claw. Early Razor Claw is kind of nice to boost pet damage, because pets level you very quickly on Guardian if you focus them, and we got lucky here. This has percent pierce, this has flat pierce when we're auto attacking, also has attack speed, and then you can see the bonus to pet damage. This is physical damage added to all your pets, and then the completion bonus was chance to stun. That's pretty nice. So that's our gear. You can see our resistances are fairly low. It's normal. You can get away with a lot of stuff. Because of Heart of Oak, and I'll go over that here in just a second, because of Heart of Oak here, we have lots of health. And then Heart of Oak will take advantage of plus the skills and the free Elirez. So we're really not stacking a lot of resistance. Additionally, we'll get into this, but additionally, Defiance, every time we're in Rally, we get another boost of elemental resistance. So I'll just hit Rally, and you can see again, we basically go to 60 Elirez. We're overcapped on cold because of Rings of Rhine. But you really don't need elemental resists over like 20% as a Guardian, because you have these boosts. So quickly, let's just go over our skills real quick. Because we have Hallowed Hat and Crystal of Erebus and Wanderers plus Golden Scarab and additionally Stonebinder's Cuffs, that's a lot of plus to skills. So you'll notice here in defense that I have 1 point in batter, I have 1 point in rend armor. This is a cleave with minus armor. That's why I recommend the add-on first. And because we have plus the skills, I literally only needed to put 1 point in batter and 1 point in the add-on. So plus the skills early game really carries. I only have 1 point in adrenaline, and I have 1 point on resilience. Resilience reduces the cooldown of this base skill. This is some health regen. While you're in adrenaline, the final add-on defensive reaction gives you percentage bleed damage, percentage physical damage, and total speed. Remember, total speed is movement speed, attack speed, and casting speed, so when this is up, you're just even faster. And then finally, up above, we have Unyielding Phalanx. Phalanx is a pretty no-brainer boss killer. You buff these guys with Rally. Rally, I'll show you here, heals, gives them armor, gives them health regen, and gives them total speed. So this affects your pets, and additionally, your Unyielding Phalanx. And on top of that, Defiance goes on to Unyielding Phalanx. And Defiance is the Elirez, and addition the damage reflected. So when your Phalanx is taking damage, when you are taking damage, you are reflecting that during Rally. So basically, some people will use this only to heal themselves, and I think that's important. But additionally, I would recommend keeping this on cooldown. Just buff your pets. Buff yourself all the time, because it's a very short cooldown, to be honest with you. You saw all of my other gear that has recharge, and then also from nature we have a refresh ability, so you can basically keep this up 100% of the time. Moving on, we have Battle Awareness. This is in a radius. It's a buff that emanates off of you. You get some defensive ability, and you get some armor that goes on to you, that goes on to anyone in the radius, so your pets are getting that buff as well. For now, we've only had 1 point in that. We'll max that later. You can skip focus if you're trying to really focus on a shield block build. You can put points in this. I skipped it for now because it reserves energy. Dealer's choice if you're going to take it or not. I chose to skip it. The coup de grace of Battle Awareness is Iron Will. This is just free secondary resists. And you can actually cap your resist just with a couple of skills in here. Sleep Stun, Reduce Entrapment, Reduce Freeze, Skill Disruption Protection. The most important one on the Guardian is the Reduced Mind Control duration for pets and traps. When you come across monsters that do mind control, it's really annoying to have like 5 or 6 pets and they're all mind control. With this ability, you reduce that duration by 60% with just 1 skill point in your plus the skills. That's why we took it. Shield Charge. Playing with defense, you want to use a shield. You want to attack with your shield. Shield charge is a gap closer. You can charge into combat. Disruption, this makes it into a 3-target cleave. Because it's called disruption, you also disrupt their abilities to cast spells for 3 seconds. It's really nice. We want to take perfect block eventually. I just didn't level up one more time. We're very close. That'll be our next pickup. Our big damage dealer here, I should say our big damage mitigation here. It's not so much damage dealer. You can do a lot of damage in Colossus form, but it's a lot of damage mitigation as well. It's Colossus form. 40% damage absorption, 50% physical damage, 40% strength, 40% health. It's huge. It's very, very big. Pick it, use it, love it. I showed you guys batter and rend armor. That's important. The only shield attack currently for passive that I have is pulverize. This is a chance to activate. It's a 3-target cleave. It adds damage to your shield, uses your shield to attack, so then you also get a weapon attack as well. Yeah, we just have 1 point here, and then we will pick up these other pieces. I just kind of skip them early on because disable only does a little bit of damage and slows attack speed. That one's fine. Because I'm addicted to cleave or AoE, I just go for pulverize first. You also save some skill points doing that. This one here, shield smash, is just damage. And reduces defensive ability. This one's actually really good later on when you need to reduce their defensive ability. It's not so strong early in the game because most mobs don't have a lot of defensive ability that you need to reduce. So that's why we skip that one too. Finally, we have armor handling. This one will be maxed. It's important for the armor absorption. It's not so important for the strength requirement. You can use it in a different way. You can max this out very early on and just laugh at strength requirements. Some people do that. We kind of just 1-pointed it and let our plus to skills carry it for now. Let's move over to nature. Again, this one has the most plus to skills. So you can see here, 1 point of Heart of Oak gives us 35% health and 10% total speed. You actually only need to 1 point this anyways, because early game you want this for the total speed. And the health is nice, but you can get health from many different sources. This will help out later on when we max this out. Moving up, we did pick up 1 point in Tranquility of Water. This is chance of minus energy cost. This one is way more beneficial when you're casting a lot of spells, summoning your pets, using Rally, using Perfect Block, that sort of stuff. This chance to reduce energy cost is just up frequently. I do not ever take regrowth, accelerated growth, or dissemination. There's a use case scenario for it. I don't ever take it though. None of my builds will ever take this. So just cast Rally, skip this for this build. Refresh, I talked about this. This is minus 20 with 1 point in our plus to skills. 1 point reduces all skills recharge time by 28 seconds. This skill itself has 15-second cooldown. And that's because that's affected by a recharge. But this reduces all your skills cooldown by 28 seconds. We will max this out, but for now we only have 1 point in it, and that's really all you need for now. Briarwort, 1 point. Stinging Nettle, 1 point. The reason you take both of these is because Sanctuary, you can put down your branches, have your mobs, your pets, or yourself stand in it. You have 20% damage absorption, you have 20 health regen, and you have minus energy cost. The 20% damage absorption is incredible for boss farming and killing. It's just so strong. And then again, because this has a 75-second recharge, you use refresh to keep that cooldown even lower. We're going to scale Sanctuary. That's the most important one to scale. We haven't maxed it out, just 1 point at it. We leveled with wolves. You want to get your wolves maxed ASAP. 20 out of 16, that's +4. 1 point in Maul is all you need. 1 point in Survival Instinct. And then Strength of Pact. Strength of Pact is really important. Well, so is Survival Instinct, to be clear, but Strength of Pact, these dogs now have a howl, and they give you 15% total speed and 90% physical damage. The physical damage is the thing that scales. The total speed is always 15%. So you want to max this out pretty quickly, especially if you're scaling your dog's damage, because you get the buff, your pets get the buff, your nymph gets the buff. Strength of Pact is really strong. Now, another one that's really strong is Survival Instinct. Survival Instinct only procs when the health drops below 33%. So in normal difficulty, that doesn't happen a ton, but they'll start to take some damage. And when they do, they have a huge percentage damage absorption and percentage physical damage. Those two things scale the more points you put in it. So it is good. You just don't necessarily need it right away. And if you notice them dying, because maybe you're playing differently than I am, max this one out instead. Okay, moving on. We literally have 1 point in Nymph. You guys can take more points. That's totally fine. We can pick up Overgrowth. We can pick up Nature's Wrath for more damage. She's a really good 1-point wonder. We probably will sprinkle a 1 point in all of her skills later on. Additionally, 1 point in Plague is great. Maxing out Fatigue is great. And then 1 point in Susceptibility. This is normal. So you only need 1 point in Susceptibility. The most important part is Fatigue, and you guys can play around with this. If you don't need to max out Fatigue, that's fine, but the reason Fatigue should be maxed out is reduction to damage by 50% for 3 seconds. Additionally, 21% reduced physical damage. And then minus total speed is great too. That's the power here. Plague is OP, and we'll max this out soon. Okay, those are our masteries. That's normal difficulty, boys. Happy hunting. See you guys in the next one. Bye!